My name's Mark Mills, and in this podcast I'm going to give you the first step of a 40-step process on how to sell your business. Step one is to look at your business in a critical but not negative way. So what I want you to do is I want you to go up to your office and look around it as though you've never been there before. In fact, I want you to walk away from it about 50 yards and walk back to it and say, that small window that needs painting actually needs to be done, the fact that the gravel outside isn't that good, that the garden needs tidying up, one of the signs has fallen down. Think about your business in the eyes of a buyer and what their first impression would be. Then when you get inside, is the receptionist friendly? Is it tidy? Is it nice and warm? Does it smell nice? When people come in, is it easy to navigate? And then think about that first impression. It means a lot to a buyer that when they first come to your premises, their expectation is met, that they're not disappointed, that they've really thought about your business and they're keen to buy it. And then they get there and find, it's just a bit untidy, a bit unkept. The person on reception's a bit snappy, it's cold or whatever. If they come and the place is alive and dynamic and neat and tidy outside and somewhere to park and people are friendly, it's easy to get around the building when you show them around, it means a lot to the buyer. The buyer's perception is raised, and in the end that'll help to A, get the sale through, and B, it will help to drive the valuation. They'd rather pay a bit more for your business, which is nice and organised, neat and tidy, than one down the road that's not as good. In my experience, I find people miss this a lot. They just think that we are what we are, the numbers mean that they can demonstrate they're making money, and actually they're very forgiving of their own business. So they'll go and visit another company and say, oh, it was a bit tatty outside, the sign had fallen down, or there was nobody in reception when I called, or I couldn't really park. And then they'll come back to their office and have to ramp up the curb and park, and the garden will have a skip in it that's been there for 6 months, and they'll say, well, yeah, but that's different because it's my business and things happen and we're always busy, and I'll get round to that this time next year and things like that. So people are very forgiving of themselves. So what I say is to be self-critical, but don't be negative. Don't worry about the fact that your business has got some bits that need tidying up, because every business does. But definitely be a bit more self-critical. Be a bit harder on yourself about how your appearance is. You won't go to work in a dirty shirt, so I have an office with a broken sign out. I've got lots of examples of this in how to sell valuations where I've helped to transform the look and feel of businesses, and if I haven't been able to do that, I've literally encouraged the company to rent an office next door and start with a clean sheet of paper and just have a couple of meeting rooms and a receptionist, and we've used that as the front of the business and left the other bit that was irreparable really to one side. So the buyers come into a nice warm, neat, tidy environment, been told this is where the company really operates from, and that factory bit at the side is just not really worth looking round, because it just wouldn't help the perception, wouldn't help the valuation.